If you find yourself in that kind of a situation, one thing that can be really helpful is gray water. I don't know if you're familiar with using gray water. It's kind of RV terminology. You may be familiar with this, but just in case you're not, in RVs, you've got your black water pipe and your gray water pipe. Your black water is from the toilet. Your gray water is everything else, the drains from the sinks, the shower, washing machine, all these kinds of things. There are a significant number of people in rural areas that use gray water for other purposes rather than just dumping it in their septic tank. They'll use it for a constructive purpose, for watering, gardens or flower beds or something along those lines. That, I think, is an excellent idea if you're short on water, because it's making the best use of the water that you do have. If you do that, though, especially for like a vegetable garden or fruit trees or something like that, then you're going to have to be very particular about the kinds of soaps that you use or what you've put down the drain. You don't want to be like putting a bunch of bleach down the drain and stuff like that. That's the big thing. But, if as long as it's very diluted and you're careful to use biodegradable soaps that have very few number of decent ingredients, then that can be a helpful use for watering certain things. And if there's some things that are more sensitive, you could use the gray water for just the things that you're not as worried about, like maybe your fruit trees or something like that. But anyhow, that's certainly an option that can be helpful. We actually use gray water not as constructively as I would like to. Someday I would like to actually put in a cistern and collect the gray water. If we did that, we'd need to put some sort of screen or something to catch, how in your kitchen sink you'll have little bits of food that go down the drain and stuff like that. We'd probably need a screen or something like that on it. But I would like to have some kind of a cistern to actually collect that where we could use it more constructively. Currently, it's watering flower beds. The gray water goes out to some flower beds and flows into there. Another reason why folks will like to do gray water for a constructive purpose is because it puts less of a strain on your septic system. So that's another reason that folks will sometimes do it, is if they're having septic issues or something along those lines, then they will divert their gray water somewhere else so that it doesn't put as much strain on their septic. That was actually a clip from our Ready Roundtable. It's the weekly coaching call that we run inside the Ready Life Academy. And most weeks of the year, folks hop on with whatever question's been nagging them, and we walk through it with them: water, power, heat, food, communications, whatever's on their mind. YouTube's great for the basics, but it can't sit down with you and look at your setup, your home, your budget, and help you figure out what to actually do. So if you've got a question, kind of like the one you just heard, and you could use some personal help dialing things in for your situation, then come hop on a call with us next week. The link's right down in the description, or you can head over to thereadylife.com/coaching. We'd love to see you in there.